It looks like Democrats are pushing a new anti-ICE propaganda, though, according to Jesse Waters on Fox News. Let's react to this.
Southern border's a ghost town. Every bad hombre in the third world knows we're not spread eagle anymore. They love Joe and his borders are Kamala. She was never really interested in building a wall. She just wanted to find root causes.
We want to work with you to address both the acute causes as well as the root causes. We are focused on addressing both the acute factors and the root causes. Not only the root causes, but the acute causes. To look at the root causes and the acute causes. My trip to Guatemala and Mexico was about addressing the root causes. Addressing the root causes of irregular migration. For the past 3 years, I have led our administration's efforts to address the root causes of migration.
And we're learning now that she did what Joe did and tried to pass that work off onto someone else using USAID. They wrote up a contract worth up to $800 million consultants to find the root causes for them. But here's the problem. Walter Barnes III, the man who founded one of these companies that got the cash, was a known con man. He just pled guilty to a decade-long USAID bribery scheme. And the government knew he was shady for years, even before they gave him all the money. In 2023, the USAID Inspector General said Barnes lacked honesty and integrity. But on the same day, he was awarded an $800 million contract. They had good reason to be suspicious. Over the years, Barnes secured big money deals by bribing USAID employee with pricey basketball suites, a trip to the vineyard, and even a down payment on a house. Isn't that nice? And once he got paid, Barnes burned through pallets of cash, doing everything but what we paid him to do. We reached out to Walter, never got back to us. Trump came to office and solved the problem with 2 words: Tom Homan. The new border czar said only 95 migrants were found at the border yesterday.
Wow.
That is the lowest daily total ever recorded. And he's doing it for a lot less than $1 billion. But there's still a lot of cleaning up that needs to be done. Tren de Agua gang members have moved back to terrorizing a Colorado apartment complex. While Homan's working hard to give every last bad hombre the boot, Democrats want to give them all lawyers.
They don't have the attention. They don't have the lawyers. And that's why the state of New York is providing $50 million
Wow.
to cover legal services for people who are finding themselves in this situation.
Unbelievable.
So if the checks don't clear, Democrats are already lining up to give illegals house calls.
Because you're not allowed to be here. Sir, are you an officer with the BI International? I am an officer with ICE. You're an officer with ICE? With ICE. You have an ID? Can we see it? I don't have to show that to you. You don't have to show that? I'm telling you to leave. I've already identified myself. I'm an officer with ICE. Can you show me a badge or an ID? You're not allowed to be here. Police are coming. Okay?
Police are coming, and they're police.
Democrats don't want to break illegals out because they care about them. They just want more people to milk their cows.
We're going to find that milk gets a lot higher, because I don't know if any of you have ever been in a dairy farm. It is god-awful work. We're going to see that groceries and vegetables are higher. We're going to see an effect in our economy, because whether people like it or not, whether Americans acknowledge it or not, undocumented immigrants are an integral part of our society and our economy.
They don't just want the cheap labor. Progressives are straight up lying about who's getting the boot from ICE and creating some really deranged propaganda. Watch.
I had a really good time today.
Yeah, me too. I really look.
What are you doing?
She's coming with us.
Where are you?
I'm your Republican congressman. Now that we're in, we're rounding up illegals.
She was born here. She's a citizen.
I don't care. She looks like one of them. But don't worry. When she's in prison in El Salvador, she'll have lots of company.
Outnumbered co-host and former White House press secretary. Kayleigh McEnany. So, Kayleigh, the Democrats are running that ad that says ICE is gonna abduct your Spanish girlfriend and take advantage of her in a mega prison. Sorry.
I mean, no, it is worth the laugh. This is what they're coming up with. I mean, look at this. Look at this. What about the 2024 election said this is what's going to win the day? These Democrats, and I don't like throwing around words, they are so dense. The polling shows immigration is Donald Trump's top issue. He has majority support. I mean, you talked about that 95 number, 95 illegal immigrants coming in one day to the southern border. It's 2,000 miles long. Bill Melugin said that's the most jaw-dropping statistic he has ever heard. It is the lowest number ever to come to the southern border. And the American people say, we support this. And what do Democrats do? They're going to abduct your, Spanish-speaking girlfriend and take her to prison in El Salvador. But oh, wait, at least she'll have senators coming down to have margaritas with her boyfriend, because you'll have a bunch of Dem senators lining up.
I bet a bunch of guys that are dating illegal alien Spanish girls are like, ICE, here's the address. She hasn't been very good. It's let me ask you about this Iranian situation. The president.
Look, that's another subject here, but we're gonna talk about that one. It's scandalous. It's funny. It is hilarious what the left wing propaganda. And one thing that you got to give to them is that they're very consistent and they're very resilient. They will keep coming at it with the same narrative, no matter how stupid and really, no matter how stupid they look or sound. They're going to continue. I'm a Hispanic man. My wife is a Mexican American woman, actually, and I don't want Trende Aragua. I don't care. You know who is affected the most with an immediate timing of these gangs coming to America? Where do they go to? Do you think they go to your regular white neighborhood? No. Well, I mean, we live in the country, so we actually live surrounding white people, to be fair. But, it is what it is. We love it in the country, and it's our way of living. But most Hispanics don't want to. They don't like living in the country. They will go to the big populated cities. Where does Trende Aragua, where does MS-13, where did all those gangs go to? Do you think they go to Wyoming, somewhere to live the ranching life? No. They go to where Hispanics are at. They go where the Latino population is at to blend with them, to be a part of them because they speak their language, because they, to some extent, although a lot of Hispanics are different from different cultures, but at the end of the day, they can coexist and, live a regular life until they got to do their criminal activities, of course, because they can't get away from that. No matter if they move to a different country, that's never going to change. They're still criminals at heart. Their souls are contaminated by this, so they're going to still rape women. They're going to still sell and do drugs. They're going to still murder people. They're going to still live by their illegal code of the gang codes, and they're still going to do all of that nonsense that they did in their countries. That's never going to change. So the greatest thing that President Trump did for Americans and Hispanics is announce and say that these groups are terrorist groups. So no due diligence, get them the heck out. There's no going to court, none of that. They're terrorists. They're killing, raping women. And look at this. This was really a day ago, 4 days ago, where this report came out. Trende Aragua is still terrorizing people. They did it just now in Colorado. So we still got to get rid of these people. We still got a lot of work to do. We got to get rid of these criminals. They are migrants. They're immigrants, but they are criminals. I'm an immigrant myself. I came from Peru again at 14 years of age, legally, became a U.S. citizen, became a soldier. That is the American dream. And I'm not just speaking of myself. There's many ways to live the American dream. But coming here illegally to do more crime on top of crime, what the heck is that? No excuses. Get them the heck out. There's no negotiation whatsoever with these lunatics. And I don't want to hear anybody in the Hispanic community backing these idiots. They are nasty. They're irrelevant. They should never be breathing the same air as any law-abiding citizen does. Plain and simple. We already have lunatics, criminals, rapists, murderers in this country, whether they're white, black, Hispanic-born Americans, Asian-born Americans, whoever they may be. We already got those people here. We don't want more to the list. It makes no sense. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Smash that like button, by the way.